Hello everyone. In today's session, we are going to study the firstly rasping and sucking type of mouth part. So, in insect like a thrips, lacerate the epidermis of a plant parts and suck the oozing cell sap. So, this is the feeding mechanism of the thrips. So, thrips firstly lacerate or scraping the epidermal portion of the plant surface or the on the leaves, and then after that feeding on a oozing cell sap. So these are called the asymmetrical type, since right mandible is rudimentary or reduced or absent. So that's why called the asymmetrical type. So whereas the left mandible is modified into a mandibular stylet, hence left mandible is present. So maxillae are modified into maxillary stylets, which are mainly useful for sucking the sap, and that is released outside due to the rasping of tissues by the left mandible. So mainly in thrips, the rasping and sucking type of mouth parts are present. So this is the diagrammatic representation of rasping and sucking type of mouth parts. Then next is the sponging type of mouth parts, so which is mainly present in adult housefly. So this is the diagrammatic representation of sponging type of mouth parts. Then part of the sponging type of mouth parts, first is the labrum. It is represented by labrum epipharynx and it forms stylet and present on a hastellum. Then second is the mandibles, they are entirely absent. Then third is the maxillae, they are represented by a pair of maxillary pulp and they are 1 to 3 segmented. The next part is the labium. So these mouth parts are represented by proboscis formed from the labium, and the proboscis is divided into the basal rostrum, middle hastellum and the distal labellum or the labellum or the oral disc. The labellum is a sponge-like structure and it is transferred by a number of narrow transverse channels called as the pseudotracheae, and which converge at one point in the center of the labellum. From this point, the food enters into the food channel, which is formed by the labrum epipharynx and hypopharynx. The hypopharynx, it is also modified into the stylet-like structure and is present on a hastellum. So this is also diagrammatic representation of sponging type of mouth parts. Then next is the feeding mechanism. So during feeding, the proboscis is pressed over the food material. The pseudotracheae gets filled with the food material by the capillary action, and which converges at the one point in the center of the labellum. From this point, the food enters into the food channel and is formed by the labrum epipharynx and hypopharynx, and then suck up the food material. So this is the feeding mechanism of the sponging type of mouth parts. So this is also diagrammatic representation. Thank you.